40 months of membership, dude. That's a long time. I do appreciate that, man. So Charles Johnson tweeted at me. Jake Hadley did as well. He responded to my impression of him. So I guess we can go through some of that. I just want to be a friend. So Jake Hadley responded. He said, "Now what the laughing and then crying." I felt bad for the crying emoji at the end. But that got 127,000 views and 1K likes.
What I mean, we can't be fighting here. People are going to break it up. People are going to get in trouble. What's going to happen if I sock him in his face when he comes and closes the distance? All you know, I've already had staff complain about me before, so they're going to be complaining, "Oh, you knocked Makev out," and all this in the back, and they're all going to moan at me. But that's some good confidence in himself right there. Jake Hadley didn't say he's going to get in trouble for getting into a scrap with Makev. He said, "What you doing? You're going to start a fight with me, and then I'm going to get in trouble for knocking you out." That's self-belief right there. He didn't say, "I'm going to get in trouble for starting a fight backstage. So what's the point? Fight me in the cage. Because otherwise, you start a fight with me, and I'm going to get in trouble. They're going to say, 'What you doing knocking Makev out?'" He knows what he would do to Makev, guys. We know Jake Hadley beats Makev. You know what I mean? So, and I'm the one who's painted as the bad guy all the while.
So that's pretty good for Jake Hadley. And then Charles Johnson went at me as well. Seeing my thoughts on the updated rankings. I bet MMA Guru's the one making them. He's always hating. I'm sick of this yapping, dude. I'm sick of all this yapping. Your favorite underdog at flyweight, basically, isn't he? That's what Charles Johnson is. You see him on a card. Everyone counts him out. Record. Weird looking guy. What the that haircut? I can't speak, though, so I'll take that back. I'm going to write him off this time, though. I'm going to go Joshua Van. I'm actually going to say he wins by decision. I just think he'll have the more ooh and ah moments in the fight, and I think Johnson struggles having those moments. Yeah. I like Joshua Van. I think he's pretty good, and he's fighting a guy in Charles Johnson here that's, again, probably not going to try and take him down, which is a good thing for him. It's going to be a stand-up match between Joshua Van and Charles Johnson, and as far as I'm aware, out of the two of them, finishing potential goes to Joshua Van.
Wait.
And I'd say chin goes to Joshua Van.
Wrong again.
Durability in general goes to Joshua Van. I think he's a more technical striker as well.
Wrong again.
Technique, chin, finishing potential in a stand-up fight. I'm going with Joshua Van.
12 seconds later.
You'll win the third and win the fight. Early in the third, he gets put down bad and wobbled and put away. Nasty finish by Charles Johnson. I just found it really sad, and I'll tell you why. Joshua Van is a small man. Very, very small man. I don't know how tall he is. I think I can double check now.
1 eternity later.
Now I'm not sure, but he's very, very small. Let me find out. 5'4". He's 5'5". I don't buy it. I don't think he is. I think he's a lot shorter. I think he's about 5'4" or 5'3". Joshua Van, a small dude, has trained his whole life, or a large majority of his life. I'm going to make it to the UFC, and I'm going to be in their lowest weight class for the small guys. And everyone in the division is like 5'8", 5'9". Which is small, but it's not smallest weight division in the entire sport type of small. It's small, but it's average height around the world. It sucks for Van, because he's a striker, and he's worked his life away. And he's got to this, and he's still young, so he hasn't worked his life away yet, because he's still young. He could make something of himself against the right matchups, but I've got a feeling he's just going to run into another 5'9", 5'10", 5'8" guy, cutting down to flyweight, being anorexic, and they're just going to be problems for him, I think, moving forward. So you got to have a granite unbreakable chin if you're going to have Van's style of fighting, and he just got TKO'd, so I'm worried.
What this dude talking about? He don't know shit, do we? This is crazy. Yeah, but
for Van moving forward, lost a prospect badly for a schmuck no one gives a fuck about. No offense to Charles Johnson, but people don't.
No.
Meanwhile, Peyton Tabit and Bo Nickel better be fighting ranked opponents next. Chat, here was my original card for UFC November at MSG. Let me read it to you guys. Oh, chin chin, oh, chin chin. Crazy that Joji used to be Filthy Frank, huh? Jones, here's what I had for MSG before obviously all of these changes happened. I had Jones Miocic, Pereira Ankalaev, co-main event. Feature fight Zhang Weili versus Tatiana Suarez. Then Shavkat Rakhmonov versus JDM. And then open up the main card with Yair Rodriguez versus Arnold Allen. That's the main card for MSG. Great. Prelims. Chris Weidman versus Bo Nickel. MSG, Chris Weidman, New Yorker, Bo Nickel, up-and-comer, headline in the prelims. And then we give Bo Nickel like a Hermanson or a ranked guy. That's going to be a problem, you know? But Weidman, Bo Nickel, I think is a good fight for now. Because it enticed Weidman to take it. Because Weidman to be like, oh, I can get a massive fight here. And Bo Nickel's a cheap star because he's not worth a lot. I'm not stacking the card. In name value, I am. In cost, I'm not. Then I put Bobby Green versus Jared Gordon 2 on the prelims. I think that needs to be made. Of course, I didn't know Bobby Green broke his arm. Rose Namajunas, Macy Barber. And then Pyfer versus Fahea opens up the prelims. And on the early prelims, I had Van versus Mudwerji, Janata Deniz versus Peterson, and then Perez Lisboa and Despain versus Taffa. I think Rebellious Despain versus Justin Taffa is a sick fight at heavyweight. So I think that should open up the card because someone's getting chinned. And it's probably Despain's uncoordinated ass. I bet he's like descended from Somalians or some shit. Thank you for the 2 months of membership. My videos have been good, at least. That's the main thing, right? Full Fight Camp. Could you smoke ex-UFC bot Jared Vandera? I reckon, give me a year of training, I easily smoke him. I don't know about a fight camp. Hope they do Ankalaev Hill Rakic for the Conor main card. Or an actual good fight night main event for once. Also, who wins those? Corey by switch kick KO too. I don't think he wins that. I reckon they'll do Ankalaev Rakic just because he hasn't fought him before. I doubt they'll do Hill because that would mean Hill would take a position from a potential title contender and he would be a non-potential title contender because he just lost. So they would rather do Rakic, I imagine. But that's a good fight. Yeah. Thank you for the $1. Say Biggs. Appreciate that. I'm glad that they're not giving Ankalaev the title shot. I wonder what they're doing with Pereira. You know what I reckon they're doing, chat? I bet you they're going to fuck over Strickland. Who's with me? The reason why they're not making Ankalaev Pereira is they're waiting to see if Adesanya beats Strickus and they're just going to give him a jump up up to another weight class. Bet you anything. You think Pereira Aspinall, but Dana was so hell-bent against that, I doubt it. I think they're waiting to see if Adesanya beats Strickus, and then they're going to be like, oh, I guess we got to see Whittaker Strickland. And then they'll let Adesanya move up a weight class, I bet. So hopefully Strickland pulls him and then puts that dead in its tracks. Joaquin Buckley. I'm waiting for Joaquin Buckley to come back. Let me get back to Donos, though. I like Joaquin Buckley, dude. I hope he gets back in there soon. Usman. I could see the Usman fight, but I could see Joaquin Buckley versus Jeff Neal. And I could see Usman Wonderboy. I know it's not like a good matchup, but Wonderboy is higher ranked than a lot of these guys. I think he's like number 7 or 8. And Usman is like number 2 or 3. And they're both coming off losses. And it's like a legendary fight. They were around at the same time, just never got to fight each other, you know? I think there's like a video of them dancing together at one point even. Thank you for the $1. Say Biggs. Breeding pick. Megan Anderson. Vegas Sweets. Crisps this and be like, right, time for my fucking full English breakfast for my meal. You know what I mean? Now you only get cereal. Oh my fucking God, that's out of date. I forgot about that cereal. It's been sitting in my fridge for a week. I haven't opened my fridge in a week. There you go. That's going to get called cat, but I genuinely haven't opened my fridge in about a week. Sup, Goo? What's up, JT O'Neill? Long-time supporter. How's it going, bud? There's a little like on your donation, man. I could see Islam moving up and mopping Bilal. Same, but... Imagine what Makhachev would have done to Edwards. Did anyone else just watch the fucking Poirier fight? Or is it just me? fucking annoying, dude. Letting Bilal's success move Makhachev's abilities up the fucking rankings. Did anyone else just watch the fucking Poirier fight, or am I fucking delusional? This guy's not guaranteed success at welterweight, dude. Isn't that bad staff? They all have staff. Class. I like Vucenic a lot. A lot of people do. If you watch his fights, you see the potential in him. Most people do. It's just Garam upper weight class on a week's notice in Abu Dhabi is kind of insane. So I don't know if he wins, but he might do. That's how good he is. He might still win. Wolvera, already read it. You see Bisping's video on how Tony Ferguson is saying he's been sparring this time in camp to prepare for his 8th loss in a row. Has changed his mind, and Bisping now thinks he beats Chiesa. It's just dumb as fuck. And I'll be real with you, this is just another sign that MMA fighters are mentally... I saw that clip of Tony Ferguson saying, this time I sparred. And I was like, you're a fucking retard. Shut the fuck up. Sick of it, dude. About you didn't fucking spar. All these fighters have every single thing to act like they've changed in between fights. I bet you did exactly the same thing as you've always been doing. You just ain't got it no more. Like, that's it. Official sound pad, you're falling apart. Thank you for the $5. You know what? Yeah. You're not helping, because by not fixing the sound pad, I legitimately get like 30 quid a stream. I'm being genuinely serious. So you're not helping at all. Like about 6 or 7 people a stream donate £5 saying fix the soundboard. So why would I do it? I need some beard oil. I haven't had any in like weeks. I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. Thank you for the $5. Are you a member of the Sweatpants gang? Yes, I do like a nice pair of gray sweatpants.